I know growing up, The Simpsons was the best thing to watch on TV, and it seems like you guys like when we do Simpsons videos, so here's another one for you guys. There's so many instances of when the writers predicted the future, like, correctly. I mean, they've done it so frequently, they're literally known for it. Who needs a crystal ball when you have a quirky family? What's up, you guys? I'm your host for this one, Landon Dowsing. I'm trying to bring you energy, voiceover for you guys. I'm trying to entertain you guys today. A lot of you guys are probably bored. I know I am. This lockdown, this isolation thing has gone on for way too long. It might even extend till June down here in Toronto, Canada. Absolutely boring times. Well, I thought I'd bring you guys some entertainment, and we're going to try to produce videos as long as we can, even on lockdown. We have everyone working at home. We have our editors killing it at home. We have the host on this channel killing it at home. That's why we've seen like Eamon at home and a weird set. We got Che, we got Lindsay. There's no green screen behind us, and for me, there's not even a friggin' video. But you know what? I'm still here for you guys. I'm trying to make videos. Let me know in the comment section below what videos you guys want us to see make next, and we'll take a lot of your guys' recommendation. So let's just get right into this one. This is the top 10 times The Simpsons predicted disaster part 2. If you guys missed part 1, make sure you guys click right over to the side. We'll link it to part 1. All right, starting off this list, number 10, we have people will sell rodents as dogs. In the episode titled Papa's Got a Brand New Badge from 2002, one of the characters decided to glue cotton balls on ferrets and sell them as toy poodles. Well, it turns out they may have inspired a real-life criminal. Is this real life right now? Well, in 2013, a man in Argentina took his toy poodle to the vet after paying $150, only to find out that they were actually ferrets pumped with steroids to look like dogs. I mean, what the absolutely heck happened there? Is this actually a real story? Number 9 is snake assassination. In 1993 episode titled Whacking Day, the citizens of Springfield rushed to clobber hundreds of snakes that lured into the city. Luckily, in the episode, their minds are changed on the matter, but a similar annual event actually takes place in Florida called the Python Challenge. Participants challenge each other to see who can kill the most wild and invasive Burmese pythons. They don't do this for fun, though. They do it because they pose a risk to the ecosystem of the Florida Everglades. Still a pretty gruesome tradition if you asked me. Next up, number 8, we have obviously the America attack. I don't even know if I can say it. It happened in September. Well, the episode was called The City of New York versus Homer Simpson, and that aired back in 1997. Well, 4 years before what happened in America that changed America forever, well, it alluded to the fact that something would happen to the Twin Towers. In the episode, there is a flyer that can be seen that says $9, and behind the 9 is a picture of the Twin Towers, making it look like it says September of 2011. While I personally think that this is a little bit of a stretch, it is at the same time a pretty big coincidence. One of the executive producers of the show even admitted back in 2010 that it is a pretty airy comparison, but he never denied that he actually predicted it. Taking the number 7 spot is Disney buys 20th Century Fox. Bold prediction, but listen to this. In another episode, When You Wish Upon a Star from 1998, one scene depicts a large sign that reads 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Co. Nearly 20 years later, Disney actually did acquire 20th Century Fox. Apparently, the writers just thought that this was inevitable because mergers happen all the time, and also Disney really likes buying everything that is good. Number 6 goes to Super Bowls 26, 27, and 28. Okay, so this one is really only a disaster to the teams who lost 3 years. Okay, so this one is really only a disaster to the teams who lost these years. In 1992, an episode called Lisa the Geek aired, and in it was all about predictions. Well, it turns out the writers were a bit better at predicting the future than they thought. Predicting that Washington Redskins would win against the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl, well, this ended up coming true a few days later. They reworked the episode the following 2 years with this new Super Bowl teams, Dallas Cowboys and Buffalo Bills, and each year predicted that Dallas would win, and guess what? They did. Coming at number 5, we have the Ebola outbreak. This episode called Lisa's Sack, and this aired 17 years before the Ebola outbreak. Bart is sick and he reads a book titled Curious George and the Ebola Virus. So some people are a bit skeptic about this one because technically Ebola did exist at the time of this episode when it aired, but it wasn't particularly widespread throughout the world So what is it that made the Simpsons writer choose this particular virus, the Ebola virus, out of the countless others that existed? Well, obviously they knew what was going to happen. They knew that the Ebola virus would be the one that would spread. Our number 4 slot goes to robotic librarians. In the episode Lisa's Wedding, which aired in 1995, the librarians have all been replaced by robots. Then over 20 years later, students at a university, well, they created a prototype for a robotic librarian, and scientists in Singapore also started creating their own versions of one. While this does sound like it would be really cool to see, if they start to appear in common places, well, this will eliminate jobs for human librarians and all these other places. Librarians offer too much that I don't think robots are going to be able to do in the same capacity. Next up, number 3, Michelangelo Censorship is an episode from the 90s called Itchy and Scratchy and Marge. The resident of Springfield get up in arms about statue of David being nude. They protest against him being exhibited at the museum as a result of him not being clothed. It sounds a little ridiculous to censor art, but the exact same situation happened 36 years later in Russia, so maybe not so ridiculous, when locals debated clothing a replica of the statue that has been placed in St. Petersburg. I'm honestly not entirely sure if that happened, but if it did, I'm kind of curious of what kind of clothing was put on him. Number 2 goes to all-you-can-eat restaurant being sued for false advertising. So this one was a disaster for the restaurant, but a huge win for everybody else. In an episode from 1992 called A New Kid on the Block, Homer got kicked out of all-you-can-eat restaurant for eating almost all the food at the buffet. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I wouldn't kick him out. I would applaud. I'd be like, yo, that was pretty impressive, my friend. Well, he proceeded to sue them for false advertising and won. Then in 2017, a man in Massachusetts brought the episode to life. He did the exact same thing. I mean, I don't think he ate all the food at the buffet. I'm not sure if that's entirely possible, but he ate too much apparently, according to the restaurant. And finally, for our finale today, and the number 1 spot goes to the episode that predicted the Game of Thrones finale. I mean, Game of Thrones is hard to predict. Unless your prediction was everyone dies, then I think you got it correct. Well, if you still haven't caught the last episode of Game of Thrones, close your ears for this one. It is absolutely a huge spoiler. The episode called The Sons, which came out in 2017. Well, it took place in a weird medieval Simpsons universe. In an episode that had a setting that looked remarkably similar to the Game of Thrones world, a dragon can be seen burning a village to the ground. This is exactly what happened in one of the final episodes of Game of Thrones. Well, there you guys have it. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I was your host, Landon Dallatsing, and I'll see you guys all very, very soon in a new Most Amazing Top 10 video.